Saturday the 23rd of October. I'm back here on my own. As you can see, that's now been all rendered in, do this parge coat just to fill any of the dry perp, so that's now drying. Yesterday, which I didn't film because the battery died, it's so dark in here. I've been in here putting the sockets in, so I think I might have mentioned it. So there's one going there, one going there, and then for the Wi-Fi box, I'm going to put it there, out of the way, nice and discreet. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Probably be painting the bathroom, but you won't get to see that until later on when I do the bathroom reveal. So bit of a pointless video this really, isn't it? Okay, purely for content. This is a OSB backed dry wall. So that means it's plasterboard, OSB, and then a small cavity, and then it's the block work. To get through that, basically I've leveled it up, marked it up. I will then get my multi-cut tool and cut through it. Like so. That's a right pain in the ass. It's where one of the fixings for the batten is as well. Yeah. Okay, so there you go, that's that in. As you see, it's not like a 5-minute job, it's a 6.5-minute job. Oh, 7:30 actually. Right, do another one now and we're done. Okay, so they've all now been done. I've checked the boxes on each of them, everything works lovely. Happy days. The next thing to do, I've got my gain still, so I'm just going to run the cables, looping it all together and making sure everything's done and all the feeds are where they need to be. I'm not going to give you a lesson on how to do that, I'm just going to do it. So let's crack on. I'll show you a little tip. Sometimes getting this gain through the holes is a real pain in the ass, because obviously it's coiled, it tends to bend off, so when you try to put it through like this, because these are hollow, it's got sections to it, so it can kick off to the side, so it won't always go through nice and easy. Now you can twist it, and sometimes it will go through like that. But another way of doing it is literally just get one of your drill bits, poke it through all the way like that, and then just push it on through, and then that'll just guide it all the way through. Happy days. It's really quick and it just saves a lot of hassle. The amount of times I've sat there like getting really frustrated trying to get it into place. Another thing that I use all the time is my grinder for cutting the cable. Seconds, it's really quick. Right, that's the first one done. I'll carry on now. Okay, so as you can see, it's just a wild mess of cables, but it does all make sense. So That's the fridge freezer feed. Some double sockets for the countertop. They are the feed to that shutter over there and the feed to this shutter here. Single socket down there, so we've got a socket point over on this side if we're doing any hoovering up. Another countertop sockets. There's another one just there, which would be your corner one. There's a couple more hidden behind there. The next job is just to get all this fixed the whole way along and carry on putting all the cables in place over that side. So you can buy fancy clips, like this is for the pipe, and you buy these plastic clips and that to make it all nice. 5 double clips, €8 from the local Brico Nort. My mate works in plastic moulding. Like, to say they're worth half a penny each would it's not. They're just, they cost fuck all basically is what I'm trying to say. So it's just ridiculous. It is a ridiculous amount of money. So what old Cover Clogs did here, I got loads of raw plugs. So raw plug, a screw, and then cable tie. And then look, ain't going nowhere. Holds it all in place. Keeps it where it needs to be. And then when we insulate it, it's not going to get dragged out the way. So happy days. And I've saved a small fortune. Literally, probably about 30 quid's worth of clips I've just used. Ridiculous, but vive la France. Right, I'm going to carry on. Just thought I'd show you what I'm doing for fixing these gain cables into place. So 6mm drill bit, drill a hole. Hole drilled. Get one of your Fisher hollow wall plugs. Little tappy. 50mm screw, PZ in, leave approximately 20-25mm. Tiny little cable ties, I just put 2 together, and then it is simply wrap around the screw, around the gain, pull it tight, voila, it's done. Literally a case of going on to the next one. It's a lot of skill in being an electrician. A lot of skill in running the cables. It is boring as hell and extremely repetitive. And I've been at it for several hours now. That's all the cables in. The only thing I've got to remember to do next is make sure I run empty game ready for the coaxials, so mustn't forget that. Well, I'll get this last one in and then I'm done, so we'll be coming back another day. Once all the gear's gone off on that window opening, the plan is to come back, frame it out with wood like normal, install the window, foam it in, and then start framing around it. I'm also going to start getting this one done. I don't know if I said in a video, but basically we got these double doors really cheap. There was 300 for the pair. Well, to buy it with the shutter combined was 600. And we need 2 of them, so that's 1,200 bucks. Well, the windows are here, they're in place. So with the hassle we've had with these electric shutters with the other windows and that, we sort of said, you know what, the place we're living at now uses mechanical, you know, so just a little hand winder. So we've sort of said, you know what, we'll get them. You know, so we're just going to buy some hand winding shutters. That'll keep the cost down. We haven't got to pay for obviously the electrical points and everything that's associated with running them, and they're pretty foolproof. So that's that. Right, see you in the next one. Bonjour, good morning. It is Tuesday the 26th of October. It's cold, dark and miserable. The light is finally coming. I've been busy buying stuff, so there is some wood to frame up for the window that I will be installing today. We've been keeping an eye out on the for sale sites. We bought that roll of multifoil and that half roll of insulation. We wanted 70 odd. I knocked them down to 60. Turned up and it said a roll and it was half a roll, and I was like, well, I'm here to buy a whole roll. So got it for 50. You can already buy this for between 50 and 70 or 80, so not a massive saving, but still a saving, so it's always worthwhile. I've also bought some paint to mix in with the bathroom paint just to tone it down a little bit so it's not as dark. The internet man's coming, so a bloke called Adam Penny. He's going to be coming. He's going to be running all the cables and setting everything up. The goal that I'm working towards is I want this window in. I want this wall framed out. I want it insulated. I want it all closed in. The reason for that is like I said, we need to set the kitchen up. So once this wall's up, this get plasterboarded. This has already been plasterboarded, so it'll just be a case of putting it back together, and then we can go get some second-hand units from various places and set up a temporary kitchen, which will be fantastic and keep my partner Karen very happy. Right, let's get that all open and crack on. Okay, bit of movie magic. Right, that's that open. Next thing to do is get the window all sorted, all measured up, and then we'll frame it all the way around, insert the window, and then it means the whole wall's ready for framing. Okay, I'm all set up. I've got my first bit of wood cut to size, so I'll get it all drilled. As always, I'm using my Fisher hollow cavity plugs. These are the mutts. Can't recommend them enough. Okay, that's the frame all in, nice and secure. I'll just put the windows in, make sure everything's all nice and lined up in case there's any adjustment needed. I doubt it very much. And then it's a bit annoying really, I've already moved these tiles again, but they need moving again and again and again. So I'm going to put them back over where the chimney breast will be long term, because we won't be doing that wall till last. So get this done and then we'll start framing this wall. Honestly, I was really confused then. I'm like, why is it so bad? How can the frame be that bad? Like, it's not, you can, there's only a little bit of flex. Now, sometimes rather than flipping out, what I do is I actually think, and they're the wrong way around. Okay, so probably did a massive fuck up. You know, I always like to admit my mistakes because it's the building game. Shit happens. Normally, window fit is a two-man job because obviously they're big and bulky and a bastard to fit, and also you keep an eye on what each other's doing. Well, basically, what happened when I fitted this first upright, it was a little bit too far that way, so when I offered the window up, the sill was catching, so it was like, okay, I'll alter it. So I moved it across that way, but what I didn't know is when I re-drilled all the holes, I went on the assumption that it was plumb, because when I obviously put it in, it was plumb. But when I redid it, I don't know what happened. Obviously something moved and I did not realise. It kicked it out of plumb, which is why the windows weren't closing. How far out of plumb? Quite a lot, 15-20 mil. So now you can see it's all plumbed up. Massive fuck up. I'm so pissed off with myself. It's shit like this that really gets to me. You know what I mean? I'm on my own, I'm scratching my head thinking, what's wrong? Because obviously in my head I plumbed that up, but just that one little movement, not noticed or whatever, and it's yeah, basically messed the job right up. So I'm just in the process of putting it all right. It's not that big a deal, it's just cost me a bit of time and some raw plug, so big deal, but it's still frustrating. Really frustrating. So right, I'm just gonna get this sorted and then we'll have it properly back together. There you go, all nice and done and fitted. I could have lied, you never would have known the fuck up, but ooh, I swore. Okay, right, now I can move on. Happy days. Okay, work is progressing. I've now got the bottom and top track in place, all screwed up and all plumbed in. This is really annoying. So obviously I've got loads of the Furore. You see that? 70mm too short. I think Chausson do 4 metre ones, but I'm not entirely convinced. I know they definitely do 5, but I don't really want to buy 5 metre lengths and waste 1.578, whatever the maps is. You know, I don't want to waste nearly 2 metres of bloody metal, so it's a bit annoying. I might have to just add a little bit on. But yeah, we'll have this wall built in a minute. Okie dokie, right. As you can see, that's that first part of the wall all built up. I'm just about to fit these couple of pattresses in, and then we can start boarding this up. This video is now long enough to upload, so I'll end it and see you in the next video.